Jed here to demonstrate how to use the new Attendant Console for the GoTo desktop app. This is a new paid add-on that admins can purchase and enable on a user's softphone. This product has been created with the receptionist persona in mind, using a real-time dashboard layout that allows for high call volumes to be easily managed. Even though it was created with the receptionist in mind, it can be used by anyone within an organization who needs to monitor calls or provide enhanced customer service. With the Attendant Console, the user will be able to do things like determine the availability of their coworkers to quickly transfer calls and intercept calls ongoing on other extensions within the company account. Please view a link in the description to learn how to contact our sales team to add Attendant Console to your account. It should be noted that if a user wants to see parked calls with the Attendant Console, 2 permissions must be enabled. I'll talk more about those later. Your user must be assigned an Attendant Console license within GoToAdmin to use this product. I'll use the desktop app for this video, but GoTo can be accessed to this site. I've already signed into the desktop app as Ryan Noble. He was given an Attendant Console license by System Admin in GoToAdmin before this video. Take note of the left navigation menu. You may see different icons here depending on what options are available with your GoTo plan. If you are not there already, click the phone icon. The GoTo softphone can be activated by a new call coming in or by clicking the dial button. Here's the GoTo softphone. For this video, I'm going to minimize the rest of the desktop app behind it. The GoTo softphone is currently in the default mode. You may be seeing a different view than this. Click the window option, which is in the top left corner. Here we can select the size and options we want for the softphone. Select the Open Attendant Console option. This new view takes up much more space on the screen, and we can maximize it to fill the entire screen. The screen is now separated into different sections, and I'll discuss each. I'll even demonstrate how you can customize the screen further. Click the Show Setting button, which is also located at the top. This panel will replace the dial section once the Show Settings button is clicked. You have options here for selecting your audio devices and ringers. I'll demonstrate how this setting works later, but ensure that it is enabled. Click the Transfer Type drop-down list. When using the drag and drop option with the Attendant Console, you can specify the transfer type. A direct transfer transfers the call to the other party without speaking to them first. With a warm transfer, you speak to the other person before transferring the call to them. Finally, as the name would apply, if you select the voicemail option, you will bypass the person speaking to someone and instantly transfer the caller to the desired person's voicemail box. Let's return to the dial section. At the top is our profile picture. We can see the current phone number and extension from which we will call. By clicking our profile picture, we can change our present status. Any changes you make will be saved automatically, and this change will be saved across all your devices that share the same extension. Click the drop-down arrow next to the extension number. The information you see here will differ from user to user. In the case of Ryan, he has more than one extension assigned to him, and he has a physical desk phone. This company has more than one phone number. There is also an option here to hide your caller ID. Within this drop-down menu, if desired, you can change the extension and/or phone number you wish from this point. The dial section is mainly self-explanatory. You can dial a number or search for a contact's name. By clicking the Calling From drop-down list, you can temporarily change which number you are calling from, and that can be referred to as a caller ID swap. There is also the option to hide your caller ID. Let's talk about the directory panel. By default, the All Contacts section opens. As the name implies, this will display all of your contacts. This consists of your company contacts and those that you've personally added. Shared contacts will appear here when the contact center or customer engagement products have been enabled for your account. You can see the present status of each person in your company directory. Green is available, white is unavailable, and red is busy. Some contacts have a down arrow next to them. That indicates that they have more than one extension or phone number. Clicking on the arrow will allow you to see all of those options. By hovering over a contact, you can see an option to call them, but I won't worry about that right now. In addition to the All Contacts tab, you can filter what results you see here. This can be especially helpful since there is much more to a phone system than only contacts. Click the filter icon, which looks like a pencil. From here, you can select additional tabs to be shown. I won't review all of them in this video, but for now, I'll choose Queues and click the Apply button. Let's click on the new Queues tab that is shown. I can see the different queues currently in my account and call any of them by hovering over them and clicking the Call button. If desired, you can allocate more space to this panel by clicking the expansion arrow next to Directory. Click the arrow again to return to the previous setup. Now let's talk about the Current Calls panel. This is where you can interact with the calls on your system. Including the default All Filter option, you can select to see only the results for parked, ringing, and on hold. As I mentioned in the introduction, two different settings must be enabled for your Attendant Console user to view parked calls. An admin or superadmin must enable the first and go to admin. From the desired user settings, you can select which call parking permissions to allow for them. Either the full call details or the no call details option will work. The user enables the second setting from the desktop app or web experience. In the Voice and Call section is where you can enable parked calls. Now that I have those settings enabled, let's see what happens when different call types are on the system. I'm receiving a new call and will accept that. My current call appears under the My Calls heading. When answering a call, you can choose actions like parking the call, putting it on hold, or transferring it to another destination. I will end this call. Here's another call on the system that is not directed to us. With the Attendant Console, the user can interact with ongoing calls like those parked, placed on hold, ringing, a dial plan, or waiting in a queue, to name a few. Let's see how some of these different options work. Let's start with the call on hold. We can see how long they have been on hold. I can intercept the call and answer it myself or transfer it to someone else in the company. If I want to intercept the call, I have two options. I could click the Intercept button, which looks like 3 dots. The second way is to hover over the call. You see the drag icon on the left side, which looks like 6 dots. If desired, I could drag the call to the Enter a Name or Number field in my dial pad. Instead of taking the call myself, I will transfer them to another contact in my company. Locate the desired contact in the directory section and search for them if needed. Also, you'll want to ensure their present status is set to available unless you want the call to be directed to voicemail. Once you locate the desired contact, hover over the call and drag it to them. The call will then be transferred either as a warm or direct transfer, depending on what you previously selected from the settings option. Now, let's talk about the park call. We can also see how long they have been waiting. I will take that call, and I can follow the two options before, either clicking the intercept button or dragging the call to my dial pad. Now that I've taken the call, I have different options. In addition to talking to them myself, I could place them on hold, park them again, or transfer them to another person. Clicking the transfer button on the dial pad or the options menu on a directory contact would give us more options for transferring the call as a warm transfer, direct transfer, or sending the call to voicemail. If I want to transfer the call, I could also drag the current call to another company contact like I did a moment ago. I'm going to end the call. Attendant Console users can interact with callers who have called into a dial plan. You can interact with them at any stage during the call, even if they are still listening to the auto attendant message. You can intercept or transfer it to another user like I demonstrated a moment ago. In a similar fashion, you'll see calls here for anyone in a call queue. Again, you can intercept the call or transfer it to another user. Finally, let's talk about the voicemail option. We can see a new call on the system. While the call is ringing, we can intercept that ourselves or drag that to another contact. The same options apply when the call is not picked up and goes to voicemail. In this situation, I'll pick up the call so that the customer does not have to wait for someone to return their call after leaving a message. That's all there is to use the Attendant Console feature with the GoToDesktop app.